We're seen kicking passing cars, crowding the streets, dancing on top of parks.
I'm about to make some people mad. And as I see it, the black community is the weakest link in the United States, and we need to step it up. Where are these children's parents? So yeah, the world sees black children out here acting like this, and then we as black people want to get mad when black children or black people are stereotyped as dangerous or people feel unsafe around us. If we don't want to be stereotyped in a negative light, let's not give people something to stereotype us about. Here is why I say the black community is the weakest link in the US. So we have the lowest household median income, okay? We are also pretty much the most obese race in the US as well. 75% of black adults are either overweight or obese in the US. 75%, 3 out of 4 people. Black men are about, let's say 6.5% of the population, and yet we commit about 50% of the murders in this country. Adjusted to our race percentage of the population, black people commit more crime than any other race. I'm running out of time, so part 2 coming soon.
It's crazy. Like, I'm just browsing through TikTok and seeing all these riots that are, like, I guess currently happening in like Chicago. I guess New York. It happened in New York or something, and all the deaths, you know, and destructions that are happening in these cities. But it's funny that these are some of the most liberal states in the U.S., and they're having so much problems with crime. Is very telling that there's maybe something fundamentally wrong with them. You know, they're some of the most democratic, you know, states, and they are really suffering a lot just by the destruction that the citizens of those states are causing. I mean, I'm not saying other states are better or anything. I'm just saying that currently the amount that you see, and it's probably because it's portraying on social media, but I just think that we as a country need to do better and wake up. I think that what we are doing now with our government, how the government is handling things, it's a heavy flaw. We are destroying our own country. And it's funny that we talk about other countries, you know, the Middle East, Russia, Ukraine, shit like that. But we are destroying ourselves. Our country has problems, and real heavy problems, right? So it's amazing that we should even care about other countries. Is beyond me. I can't imagine it. I don't understand it. When we are facing so many problems, I don't know. I think we are destroying ourselves. Our country is in ruins. It's crazy.
Look, demonizing children is wrong. We have to keep them safe as well. Have you ever taught middle school? I have. Have you ever raised young people? Do you understand the risk that young people take just because they're young? Do you know that home plate is at the bottom of my stairs? I found that out when my son was sliding down those stairs trying to score. They're young. Sometimes they make silly decisions. They do. And so we have to make sure that we are investing to make sure that young people know that they are supported.
So part 2 on why African Americans are the weakest link in the US. Part of it is our culture. So I'm not going to be the only one to feel this way, but I'm going to be one of the few people that are going to say it. When I go to a restaurant, when I get served the worst, it is usually by a black server, waitress, or a person that works there. When I'm on the phone, the customer service, you know, come on, you know when you can tell it's a black lady you're talking to on the phone, right? And a lot of times when I'm on the phone, the worst customer service is coming from black women on the phone. A lot of waiters, waitresses do not want or do not prefer to serve black Americans. Why? We come in with the most demands. We want to spend the least amount of money and we tip the least. We will send stuff back. We'll try to get stuff for free. Our culture and the way we process and go about things has got to absolutely change. Okay, so I'm running out of time again. Let me know if you want a part 3, but the reason I'm making these videos is because in order to fix a problem, you actually have to diagnose what the problem is before you can actually begin to fix it. So I'm diagnosing the problem.
They're stealing because they're hungry, he told us.
Question is, how do we make sure that people can eat? Look.
Yes, they're trying to eat. Because starvation is a pressing problem in Chicago. But it's not. Obesity is a pressing problem in Chicago. About a quarter of Chicago high school students are overweight. They join the overwhelming majority of their parents. Obesity is the problem. The shortage isn't of food. And as if to prove the point, the same mob the mayor just defended reportedly tried to break into the Art Institute of Chicago. There was no bread in that museum, only Chagall's and de Kooning's. So these were not people who were trying to feed themselves. These were people who were trying to destroy civilization.
How do you feel about LGBTQ pushing their agenda on the youth?
There is no agenda. You are speaking to the LGBT.
I feel as though that's great. I feel as though every child should be gay.
Yeah, I think every single child
I'm actually
on Earth.
gay, and I'm studying to be a teacher right now, and I'm going to make every child in my class gay.
How many country music singers been shot and killed? Name one. I can name 5 of the most prominent rappers murdered in cold blood in front of everybody. Tupac Shakur and Biggie were the 2 most famous people in America and murdered. Nipsey Hussle in California, giving back to his community, building the community, murdered right in front of his store in broad daylight. The guy kicked him and shot and killed him. They in the same game. Young Dolph, one of the biggest celebrity black rappers, murdered broad daylight, giving back to his community. PNB Rock at Roscoe Chicken and Waffles with his girl. She texted his location. Dudes came and robbed and killed him. It's our own people. People got to stop doing these talking points. I knew when I was growing up, you can't take a white girl home. You can bring a white girl home, you crazy. But white people are racist. Come on. I know what it is. I grew up, I've been black.
This is who they chose to play Nani and Lulu instead. Lighter than Nani. What is happening? How hard is it to find a dark-skinned indigenous Hawaiian woman to play this role? It's not giving Nani, and people are upset about that. It's not that hard to cast what people actually look like and are supposed to be in animated movies, etc.
This is why I'm fed up with modern woke culture and these foolish kids. Because where's your priorities? Because did you have the same argument for The Little Mermaid? No. It's good that they changed the race. Plus, that was a Hawaiian. So you just pretty much against her because her lighter skin, not because of what she is. She's a Hawaiian native, right? She's born in Hawaii. And it's just that the foolishness of this is why I'm tired of these kind of conversations, because this is what you focus on. This is what you think that's important. Diversity in movies, right? To what? For black people. Wow. I just saw a video about a black woman showing the destruction of Chicago. How she can't even feed her kids now because of what? The destruction they did to the Walmarts, the Targets, the community. Where is your outrage for something that actually matters to your community? No. What you think is important? Diversity in movies. But what about actual black people's lives? No, you don't care. This is why young people are foolish, right? They don't vote, right? They don't really vote. They don't really care for elections like that. They don't really care about politics like that, unless it's about some controversial topic. They don't care about actual minorities, actual black lives. No, they don't. They complain about diversity in movies. They like to cause riots and destructions, right? They don't like to hear other views to expand their knowledge and to expand their viewpoint. No, they are blinded, they're foolish, and they're deluded. This is why it's tiring. These deluded youths and this woke movement that looks for problems when there's no problems, but do not focus on actual problems that are affecting communities, affecting black communities right now. You don't. That's why I'm just tired.
really cared about black lives, why would it be solely isolated to incidents where a black life is taken at the hands of a white cop? That happens less than 1%.
Come on.
Now, wait. Now, I like to equate this to, it's the same as if I was in a horrific accident. I have a massive head wound, I have a leg fracture and a scratch on my finger. And here come the first responders and they want to tend to the scratch on my finger. And I'm telling you, what about the wound on my head? What about my fractured leg?
Come on.
That's what the BLM movement is. They're tending to the scratch on my finger, and that's not even what it's about. If you want to help us, let us tell you how you can help us.
Yes.
Don't come in and tell us how you want to help us, and don't tell me that I'm oppressed, because I'm not oppressed. I'm a black American. I'm a proud black American. I am not oppressed. I am not oppressed. I'm one of the freest persons on this world.
Come on.
Kneel for no man. I only kneel to God.
As you can see,
no one has a privilege over me except for God.
As you can see, black conservatism is the new punk rock. You know what I mean?
I heard a debate between Malcolm and Bayard Rustin. And Malcolm said, if white immigrants could come to this country years ago with nickels and dimes and no education, come and pool their little nickels and dimes and no education, set up stores, develop those stores into larger stores, which turns into an industry, which creates job opportunities for their own kind. He said with us at that time having spending power of $20 billion, today it's over $1 trillion, not using any of that money to set up any industry, not setting up any factories, not setting up any job opportunities for our own kind, we're not in a moral position to point the finger today at the white man and claim that he's discriminating against us for not giving us jobs in factories we hadn't set up. So I'm listening to this, I'm like, this sounds like 2021. So I'm just like, man, so I'm like, well, if we say the schools are failing, why don't we try opening our own schools? If we say that the hospitals are failing, why not opening our own hospitals? So I went on a quest. I told my boys, I was like, listen, I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to open us up a school one day. I'm not sure how we're going to do it.
So the girl said that women are getting BBLs to get attention from men. They want attention from men with money, yada, yada, yada. So they just go get BBLs and whatever the And it's just like, I don't think that's true.
Carti B, you just activated my trap card. Stop the cap. This card is activated when a monster on the field is spouting lies. Minus 1,000 life points. Next, I'll activate the trap card Girls Know What Men Like. This trap activates when a female monster on the field pretends to not understand what male monster cards lust for. Minus 1,000 common sense points. For my third card, I activate my common sense is tingling. This card forces any female monster cards lacking common sense to go back to school. Minus 1,000 common sense points. Now for my last trap. Go, Black Spider Guy advice. This card forces your life points down to 0.
Like in today's world, feminism is me sitting in a math class with 50 other boys and having the exact same opportunity as they have. You get me? Feminism is about me finishing high school and going to that job interview and having the exact same chances, opportunities, and time given to me. The same as the 80 other men in that room. That's what feminism is. Not requiring me to go and cheat, not requiring me to go and wear a skirt and flirt with my math teacher to give me marks.
Let me state that I'm 100% for women working what they want and receiving education. But don't be blinded by the supposed glamour, right, of feminism. Because what they don't tell you is that now your labor is added to the workforce. And now you are another person that can be taxed. And now you are help contributing to the society that being a stay-at-home mom is now a luxury that you can't afford. Because now things will get more expensive. Society will cost more because now there are 2 times the workforce. Now you're supposed to be contributing to the workforce. So it has to be added into society where now things will be 2 times as more expensive. Cost of living will cost a whole lot more, which is, if that's how society goes, that's how society goes. But don't be fooled by supposed, the supposed glamour of being another worker in the cog that is society. Because now you are just another worker, another part of the workforce that now the rich can tax, your country can tax you, can now, control you through your labor. So, it's not as glamorous as people make it out to be, right? Being now part of the workforce, being, supposedly educated. I guess it's great freedom.